Thinking about taking a cruise? Here's exactly what a day on a cruise is like, from embarkation to port adventures, plus what's free and what may cost a little bit extra. Planning your first cruise? Let me help you avoid rookie mistakes and cruise like a pro. And don't forget to check out all my other digital travel guides for even more tips. And I'm so nice that I give a free 25-page printable travel planner to all my subscribers. Just comment below, subscribe, and say I'm a subscriber. Welcome to day one of your cruise, Embarkation Day. Today's the day we board our floating home for the next several days. But before we can get on the ship, there are a few steps you have to go through. First, you'll drop your big luggage with the porters. Then, your bags will be delivered later in the day to your room. So make sure you keep a small bag with your essentials like swimsuits, medication, sunscreen, and your cruise documents with you for day one. Next up is security and check-in time. It's just like an airport, but a little bit faster. They're going to go through your entire group, check everybody in, take everybody's pictures. You are able to bring alcohol and beverages aboard. Just be sure to check the cruise line's rules for that. And once you check in, you may or may not get your cruise key. Sometimes they send it to your stateroom later in the day. It just really depends on the cruise line. And just like that, you get to get on board the ship. This is my favorite part of the day. So what do you do next? Most people either head straight to lunch or start exploring the ship. It's completely up to you. The buffet is usually packed and the most popular spot on the first day. So be sure to check the main dining room or other restaurants that are complimentary if you want some food. It's definitely a little bit less crowded. If you have kiddos, I suggest checking them into Kids Club and get that out of the way. Before the ship can set sail, everyone has to complete the muster drill. Now, this is typically done on the app these days, but you're going to want to check in at your muster drill station and they're going to show you exactly where to go in case of an emergency. Super important. Now is also the best time to book any specialty restaurants you want to eat at for the week. Your stateroom might not be ready until early afternoon, so if you can't get in it yet, don't worry. Now's the perfect time to explore the ship, hit the pool, grab a drink, or just relax anywhere on the ship. Now it's time for one of the funnest moments on Embarkation Day, the sail away party. Grab a drink, head to the top deck, and wave goodbye to the land as your adventure officially begins. That's Embarkation Day in a nutshell. It's a mix of excitement, a little waiting, and a whole lot of fun. Now let's talk about what to expect on sea days. There's nothing like waking up on a sea day. Just you, the open ocean, and a whole ship full of things to do. Whether you want to relax, pack your day with activities, here's what a sea day on a cruise is really like. First things first, breakfast. You've got plenty of options. The buffet for quick and easy eats, a sit-down breakfast in the main dining room, or even room service if you want a slow start to the day. It's completely up to you. Some people love to take it slow, coffee with the ocean view, a morning walk on the deck, or just chilling in the hot tub. Or if you're feeling energized, hit the gym and try a yoga class or even a dance class on the main deck. It's all complimentary. By late morning, the ship is alive with activities. You can hit the water slides, take a mixology class, play bingo, or join in the poolside dance contest if you'd like. On our last cruise, my favorite was watching the belly flop contest and the sexy man contest. But if all you want to do is soak up the sun, that's totally fine too. Just don't forget the sunscreen. And then lunchtime rolls around. You have plenty of choices. Head back to the buffet, go to the main dining room, or one of the many other complimentary options on the ship. Afternoons on a sea day can go two ways. Take a nap and recharge, or jump into even more activities like game show, poolside activities, or shopping, or a massage. Most activities are included, but some things like spa treatments, wine tastings, and the casino come with an extra charge. As the sun sets and the evening rolls around, it's time for dinner. You can go classic in the main dining room, grab something casual, or splurge on a specialty dining restaurant. And after dinner, the entertainment begins. Whether it's a Broadway-style show, an aqua show, a comedy act, music in the lounge, there's always something happening on the ship. Be sure to check the app. The app is going to have a list of schedules and it's going to be packed all day long. You'll never be bored on a cruise ship. And if you're not ready to call a night by then, head to the deck for a party, or sing your heart out at the karaoke, or try your luck at the casino. and the many other options around the ship. My favorite is just to walk around the top of the ship and look at the sky at nighttime. And that's a full sea day on a cruise. Relaxing, fun, it's totally up to you. Whether you spend it by the pool or going nonstop, sea days are all about making the most of your vacation. And this is my favorite part of cruising, port days. Waking up on a port day is like Christmas morning. You open your curtains to a brand new destination. But before you rush off the ship, here's what a port day on a cruise is really like. First things first, breakfast. Whether you eat fast, take your time, make sure you're fueled for the day ahead. This is also time to double check your plans. Do you have any excursions booked? Are you exploring on your own? And most importantly, what time do you need to be back on the ship? Once the ship is cleared by local authorities, it's time to disembark, which means get off the ship. You're going to hang to the gangway, and don't forget your cruise card because it's your ticket back on the ship, so keep it safe. Your cruise card or Sea Pass card, if you're on Royal Caribbean, is your ticket to get back on the ship. If you do not have that, you will not be allowed back on the ship, so keep it safe. Although you only need your Sea Pass card to get back on the ship, it's a good idea to bring your passport and your driver's license to the port. There are 2 ways to experience a port: book a cruise excursion or explore on your own. Excursions are great because everything is planned for you, whether it's snorkeling, ziplining, or a guided city tour. And here's a pro tip. Check out viator.com. They have a ton of excursions on their website. They're super reliable and they're cruise friendly, meaning they know exactly when you need to get off the ship. They typically always know what cruise line you're on, and they tend to be just a little bit cheaper than the cruise line excursions. But if you prefer to do your own thing, you can walk around, shop for souvenirs, or try out some local food. Just make sure you know how to get back to the ship on time because it will leave without you. It happens. And every cruise port is different. You're either going to find a really nice built-up cruise port or something that looks kind of not so built up. But you're always going to find some shopping and food. And every port is different. They're known for their special activities. Maybe today's a beach day because it has a special beach on the island. Maybe you're ziplining through the jungle because they have a jungle. Maybe you're visiting ancient ruins. Whatever you do, enjoy every minute. And my advice to you is pick the special thing that place is known for that you can't really find anywhere else. One of the biggest rules of cruising: do not be late to the ship. It will not wait for you. If you're not on a cruise-sponsored excursion, check your all-aboard time and plan to be back at least 30 minutes early. The last thing you want is to be that person running down the pier while the ship is pulling away. Trust me, it happens more often than you think. And then comes one of the most memorable moments of the day: pulling away from the cruise port. Grab a drink, find a spot on the deck, and watch the island fade away into the distance. And then it's back to the cruise life. Enjoy dinner, catch a show, and get ready to do it all again tomorrow. After days of adventure, relaxation, and unlimited food, it's time for the saddest part of any cruise: disembarkation day. But don't worry, I've got all the tips to make getting off the ship smooth and stress-free. Sometime during your cruise, you're going to get a form to fill out of when you want to get off the ship. If you opted for luggage pickup, your suitcases must be placed outside your door the night before. Otherwise, you'll have to carry everything off the ship yourself in the morning. And breakfast is your last chance to enjoy cruise food. The buffet is open, but if you want something quieter, check the main dining room. And I promise you, the buffet is going to be even more busy than embarkation day. Disembarkation happens in groups, usually based on your deck number or luggage tag color. You'll get a schedule the night before, so be patient and enjoy these last few minutes on board. Listen for your group to be called, and when it's your turn, head to the exit. P.S. The elevators are going to be nuts and crazy. Head to the exit with your cruise card. One final scan before stepping off the ship. If you checked your luggage, you'll pick it up in the terminal. Look for your assigned tag color or number. It's like an airport baggage claim, but way more organized. Next up, customs and immigration. Depending on the port, you'll either go through a quick face scan or have to present your passport. Most likely presenting your passport or birth certificate if you brought that. If you brought a lot of souvenirs, be honest about what you're bringing home. And once you're through customs, it's time to head home. If you arranged a transfer to the airport, follow the signs to your shuttle. Otherwise, there's plenty of taxis or ride shares around just waiting outside. And just like that, your cruise is over. Now there's only one thing left to do. Start planning your next one. I'm going to wrap up this video with my 5 best tips to make your cruise truly amazing. Number 1, arrive at the port a day early. Stay in a hotel the night before because you never know what kind of plane cancellations that will happen or a car breaks down. You need that extra time to be able to get to the ship and board on time. Number 2, now's the time to explore new foods and new drinks. When all the food is included, you have a chance and opportunities to try food you've never tried in your entire life, and who knows, you may love it. And if you get the drinking package, whoa, try all the different types of beverages and poolside drinks. Number 3, cruising is also the opportunity to do entertainment you've never considered back in your regular life, like going to Broadway shows or seeing a belly flop contest. And if you're like me, you definitely decided you are not a Cats on Broadway fan. Choose the right excursions for the island or port that you're visiting. And if you need help with this, I have so many digital travel guides in my shop. I will put the link in the comments, but some are super unique and you need to be able to see what each place has to offer in their own unique way. And my final tip, disconnect and be present. Wi-Fi is so expensive on the ships. Why not embrace the break? Put your phone down and enjoy the ocean, meet new people, and fully immerse yourself into the cruise life. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it helps you, gives you an idea of what a cruise is actually like. I love them. I know you're going to too. If this video was super helpful to you, give it a like. It helps me progress down the ranks. And subscribe to my channel for more details and information on traveling. Thanks, guys.